And so then we hear people saying, well, I can do what you do, man. And it's like, you're just seeing the tip of the iceberg and you're not seeing everything else under it. What do you think about our last podcast, our first podcast?
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I think some of the people that saw it
I think we touched on some stuff that obviously I don't touch on when I'm doing a Facebook Live. That camera angle is a little, it is what it is. Dan, make it work, man. We touched on some stuff that obviously that I hadn't touched on because, when I do a Facebook Live, again, it's all guns and it's all holsters and it's all, when is this coming out? And that's all good. I love that stuff. I mean, I live for that stuff. But, when I get to sit down with you and we talk about the everyday stuff that we go through, whether it's awesome stuff or just the minutia, just the you homeschooling the kids and it's not really that. I shouldn't use that word. I mean, but sometimes it's just the daily grind over and over, right? And it can get a little heavy and it can get a little frustrating sometimes. And so same with me. I mean, just because I run a business and I enjoy what I do, it's still a grind. It's still work. Work is work. And so that never changes. You can love something and do it, but it's still work, especially if you want to be the best, right? And so it's funny that I say that because let me just say this, guys. When we started this, I mean, we set this up. Took me about 30 minutes, and we got lights and stuff like that, and some camera angles. I wish I had Dan with me. I mean, that guy's really good at that stuff. But anyways, we sat down, and right before we started, we were like, "What are we going to talk about?"
Yeah.
Right? So it's like. It's not like we have notes. I don't have notes. I don't have anything. We just sat down and let's just talk. Let's just talk freely, like the way we do when we talk in the mornings or when we're sitting down here after my workout and I'm drinking my my post workout. We just sit down and we talk. So let's just share that. I think some of the stuff that we talk about is interesting. Maybe it's not. I mean, you guys be the judge of it. But going back to what I was saying. Talking about. Going out there and just grinding it out daily. We've had people, and we spoke about this maybe a couple of days ago, that have told us directly, even indirectly, that they can pretty much kind of, if only I knew about Kydex holsters back in 2010, I'd have Bravo, or if only if only I had a chance at something, I could be doing what you guys are doing. But it's not just the chance. It's not just finding something and taking it to the next level. I mean, we worked hard.
Yes.
When we first started, and so people call it luck. I call it a blessing, but we entered in when we started Bravo, the Kydex scene was barely starting back in 2010. And so we entered it in just
a good time.
Yeah, in a good time, probably like the right time. But it just didn't stop there.
Yeah.
It got crazy. I mean, it got overwhelming, working every day. And so then we hear people saying, well, I can do what you do, man. And it's like, you're just seeing the tip of the iceberg and you're not seeing everything else under it. It's 7 miles deep, and it's cold and it's dark, and it's massive. And that's what makes Bravo is the stuff that people don't see.
Yeah.
And not everyone. A lot of you guys out there understand what it takes. A lot of you guys know that running a business is tough and it's hard. But every once in a while we'll get these people that think, oh, it's easy. If only I had come up with that idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we talked about, we kind of spoke about that, and it's interesting how some people look at things that way, or they have that perspective, like, oh man, if only I knew about making a Kydex holster back in 2010, I'd be bravo.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, like you said, we came in at the right time. But even with that, if you go back and you see everything that we've gone through, there have been a lot more opportunities to give up than there have been to keep pressing forward. You know what I mean? Like, that's that bottom of the iceberg where the grind hits the pavement, and it's either we give up now or we go past that barrier and keep going. Because I think there was a lot more opportunities for us to say, you know what, we're done. It's too much work. It's too hard. Versus the opportunities that came where doors were opened. But when those doors did open, we were ready to walk in because we had already fought all these struggles that if we had not gone past those struggles, that door would have never opened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, though that time when we were just starting out and we had a scam done, way back then with the Philippines.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was our very first, like, oh my goodness, there's people out there that are gonna try to take your stuff.
Yes.
And did we give up? No, we just took that loss and kept on marching forward.
Yeah. No, that's true. And yeah, I had forgotten about that. It's funny because my recollection is not the greatest. I don't dwell in the past, and I'm not saying that people that have good recollections dwell in the past, but you can ask me something and I'll miss out on a good opportunity to tell you a story because I didn't remember it right there and then. And then there's people that, they know every single fight they've been in. They know every single name of their girlfriends, or there's people that, I remember one time, man, it was July. It was in 1986. We were driving with my friends and we almost hit a rabbit and we swerved off the road. I'm sorry, man. I don't remember stuff like that. But you remind me a lot of the things that we've gone through. And it's good because I need that perspective because we all need it. Obviously, you don't want to forget what you went through. But for me, it's like, it's the past, it's laid to rest, and I just keep moving forward. And sometimes I miss out on the remembers.
It's not dwelling in the past, it's remembering that you had victory in that battle. And that just gives you even more strength to keep facing more battles.
Yeah.
Because we remember that time we had that what was it called? The one with the suede?
Oh, the Acer?
The Acer.
Yeah.
And people wanted it, but we couldn't make it fast enough. Mm-hmm. And you were kind of iffy. Should we take it off? And I was like, just do it. Just keep doing it. We're going to get through it, And we did. Eventually, we took it off because you realized, obviously, you did your research. You're the businessman. You're the business part of this. I'm just more of a let's just do it type of thing.
Yeah.
And you did your research. It wasn't profitable.
Yeah, so, but I know what you're saying. It was a tough holster to make, and we didn't even know if it was going to be profitable or not because back then we didn't have our P&Ls, we didn't have our numbers, we didn't have a business mindset the way that we have right now. Like right now, we can forecast and foresee if it's going to work or not to a certain extent. Like you never know until there's some products that you just have to put out there and see if the people are going to like them. The people love the Acer. They love the suede. The problem with us is that our manufacturing wasn't there. Yeah. It was taking us way too long to do it, to add the suede on there. It was just horrible. This was back in 2012, 2013, where you couldn't go to a holster builders or you couldn't go to a index fasteners and buy the molds that are already done for you. This back then, it was all blue guns and just little wooden sticks and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it was crazy. And I remember that it was tough, and we couldn't get the suede to stick on. And we went through this whole process of just putting a heavy load on it and just I don't know how many pounds per square, I forgot already, that we were using to just glue that suede on there. And it worked towards the end. You're right. We got through it. But then we got to the point where, hey, these things aren't profitable, man. It's taking us way too long to make. And, it's and that's the business side of things, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I think people see the tip of the iceberg, but they don't understand everything that goes through it. And when I hear people say, oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, anybody can say that. For me, it's like a light switch. I just turn you off right there and then, because we've been through so much in these 10 years that for you to say that to me, it's like it's ridiculous to the point where I'm not even gonna entertain that thought, and I'm not gonna. There's no premise there for me to accept, none whatsoever. For me, it's like, okay, man, and I'll just walk away because that conversation's over.